Hey guys, welcome back. As mentioned earlier, we do have contests running the entire day. We have some great prizes given to us by our friends at NVIDIA, Logitech, EVGA, Shatter Crystal, Alienware, and Eon Magazine. What exactly do we have right now, Navigator?
Well, coming up in the next match, I believe, I don't have the information in front of me, but I think it's a Logitech keyboard, which is a really nice piece of kit, and a shout out to Boba Fett, who actually won the 60-day GTC on predicting perihelion lance in the 1540 match. So, okay. If you want to participate, make sure that you're actually posting this time on the link in the EVE Online Facebook page.
Yeah, and we're all very happy to have these great partners.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
Shatter Crystal, the quality of their time codes is simply higher than regular time codes.
Yes. I hear some people say you sometimes get 61 days with the Shatter Crystal code. I'm not sure.
No, it's true. And if you put a regular time code and a Shatter Crystal time code on a weight, they will actually weigh more just because of the quality and extra work put into them.
They occasionally cause slight feelings of euphoria and other happy things.
Yeah. Shatter Crystal, on top of the GTCs, have also given us 4 ship models, which will also be auctioned off.
Like the ones over by
only
Sastro.
one of these APOCs sitting in this pride of place in your mantelpiece.
They are beautiful.
You mentioned that G19 keyboard. It actually requires its own power cable, which lets you know that's a serious keyboard.
If your keyboard requires a power cable, it ain't screwing around.
That is a powerful keyboard.
It certainly is. Anyway, that was a good match. We had a Badger.
Yeah, okay, I don't know exactly what that Badger was doing there, probably just running damps or other EW warfare, but otherwise it was pretty good solid teams on both sides. And a bombing run at the beginning of the match, which did a lot of damage. I think it hit all of their ships, bar the Scimitar, which probably warped in at a higher range. But it took out at least one ship. I didn't get to see which one it was. It was a great bombing run. I love seeing those.
I got up to take a quick nature break, and I came back, and ships were already gone. I missed the bombing run. It was the saddest thing that's happened to me all day. I love bombing runs.
Bombing runs are great. So we were talking about the Badger, because obviously it doesn't really fit into your standard tournament setup.
I think it's entirely worth the 3 points that it costs.
All right.
Yes. Badgers have, you got 5 mids there. It may take you a while to get your initial locks, but you have 5 mids. You can put any kind of ECM in there. It's easy to fit them too. They have like really high CPU. And you can go there and track and disrupt stuff, sensor damp it, do whatever. Now in that map, everyone just sort of like clustered around the middle and just started beating each other in the forehead. So perhaps not as useful as it could have been in other matches. But if there's like a big kite team or something going up against it, if they ignore the Badger, they ignore it at their own peril.
And I mean, there was a bit of weird stuff happening. We had the Badger, we had the melee range Scimitar that just went in there and got neuted for one reason or the other. But I think we talked about Dystopia last year, who I think brought the Badger too, and they kept dropping. What are they called?
Jet cans.
Yes, jet cans for the Abaddons, basically, and they just had.
They were full of cap boosters. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is an industrial and it's a huge cargo hold, and you can use that cargo hold stat as part of your strategy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was doing that there. I didn't see any jet cans,
but it was definitely doing that with the Abaddons and just dropping cap boosters off, and then having the damps, as far as I remember. So you can put it in there, but it's not something we're likely to see PL do.
Well, you never know. We might come up with the comedy setup sometime.
What about the Tempests? Tempests, we don't see that much.
No, we don't. And I don't think we tend to see many Tier 2 battleships. But I like the Tempest. I like seeing it with a bunch of autocannons on it. It can really do a lot of damage.
Yeah, they're quite nice, especially when you fit them with autocannons. You have 2 slots for newts as well, as we saw in this match, used heavily as well. But on the other hand, they're a little low on their EHP, so it's maybe a little bit interesting choice to build those. They maybe got a little bit unlucky in that the Vanguard team or Beisty team, ran Sleipnirs, which typically have at least 1 tracking disruptor each. So those Tempests probably weren't doing any damage at all until the last Sleipnir died, and at which point we saw the Hurricanes just...
it was too late at that point in time.
Yeah.
You let me down 7-3 Rants. I was completely undefeated in my picks until now.
They even had the cool name.
Yeah, they did.
But I mean, you mentioned the EHP, and they dropped really quickly. Like as soon as they shifted fire to the Tempest, they just fell over one after one. And I mean, that's your main damage source, and then it's over. So we're stepping into the the next 4 matches that are the kind of hardcore of the day, -10 versus AAA, if we can get some stats up on those two. Sastra, what do you think?
I like AAA in this one. I think they've proven to be one of the powerhouse teams of the Alliance tournament, and just even general. They've always been around. Even when they were completely crushed and lost all their space in the South, they did not fold, they didn't die, they came back, and that shows a lot of that kind of inner strength, which I appreciate in the Alliance. So I'm going to give them the upper hand in this one.
I would have usually agreed, but I heard from Riley, who's usually a pretty good source of information, that it's only one corporation in AAA who's competing this year. Maybe we'll see that to be untrue, but on that information alone, I picked -10.
All
That's
right.
true. Rivey is not on set right now, so there is no telling what he is up to back there in the stage. He might know something we don't know.
I will go for AAA, considering I've had a great success rate so far. They're probably cursing me and may not even turn up anymore.
Oh, the kiss of death from Navigator.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much the way it is.
I think I might want to change my prediction. I have
that too.
AAA, but no, you know what? AAA, don't let me down. Don't do this to me, AAA. Don't do
it.
this.
Not this time.
So you said they were kicked out of the South.
Yes.
Back now. Were you part of the old fight that kicked them out?
I was not part of the fight. That was some big mess down in the South while I was currently...
Swarm, not being involved. Who would have guessed?
Oh, well, we are never involved in the cool things that happen in space. Never. Like the Alliance tournament.
We've had goon teams a few times.
Yeah, occasionally.
Sometimes field the wrong number of points too.
Sometimes the wrong number of points. Yeah, sometimes they just don't show up at their appointed time. And sometimes they send their money to more deserving alliances than the CCP Alliance Tournament Fund.
This is wonderful. So we have -10 versus AAA. It's going to be pretty cool. Raiden Darkside, Ashura Khan, Pandemic Legion, unaffiliated versus Hydra Reloaded. You guys have come out here to do a bit of work from us and talk about spaceships. While
My favorite
they were on.
topic.
Did any of you guys actually know each other prior to coming out here?
Aside from like on the internet? No.
All right.
No, I'd not met any of the current Alliance tournament people. Well, I take that back. I have met Michael Bolden at FanFest, and it really shocked me that you guys thought it was a good idea to bring him here for the Alliance tournament. I don't know if I would have gone with that, but so far he hasn't destroyed anything, so maybe he deserves a chance.
He is a
I see
quality
you over
lead
there.
vocalist, Michael Bolton. He sings great songs.
Yes.
I don't know how you could really have an Alliance tournament without Michael Bolden.
Michael Bolden, I believe there's 3 I's at the end of his name. If you guys were not at FanFest, you truly missed some legendary Michael Bolden action.
really
FanFest was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever attended. I don't know if you heard about chess boxing. They had a boxing and chess match at the same time with a gentleman who did not box versus a gentleman who did not play chess. And there were choirs singing the Icelandic national anthem. There were pyrotechnics. There were television crews.
We had posses coming out, smoke. It was wonderful.
There were jock jams being played. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. There was Michael Bolton taking his shirt off. There were rock band competitions. You should definitely attend FanFest if you've never been to one before.
Definitely.
It is certainly a good time. I've just been told that we're going to have a slight delay again. And with that delay, I'd like to change my prediction. AAA brought 104 points. That means that I'm just going to cross them out and go with Severance.
Well, maybe -10, since Severance aren't playing.
It may be true about the CCP Navigator Kiss of Death.
I think. Does anyone think that AAA are going to win this one?
Don't let me down, AAA. I'm not changing mine.
You're still with
Sticking with my
AAA.
guns. Still
All
with
right,
you.
I'm with -10. This simply all this points. But I mean, we talk about teams that have budgets of 100 to 200 billion. How do you end up bringing the inaccurate number of points? Isn't this just like the basics?
There are so many variables in the Alliance tournament. You'd think that would be one of the more important and simple ones, but you could just miss add. You could not be good at spreadsheets.
Maybe someone
don't
didn't
know.
turn up and asked someone else to fly ship and they flew the wrong one. I mean, these things happen with the tournament. So
Yeah, one of the things most teams don't do is prepare beforehand for the match. We've heard that actually on the pre-qualifiers as well, that some people didn't have the ships set up already with the mods, so maybe they ran out of time. They were all in Jeddah buying, ships, and somebody got the wrong hole.
That is
knows?
certainly entirely possible. You never know. That is a bit disappointing by one of the big alliances. They typically do really well in the alliance tournament. They're not really that bad of a team.
Historically, they've been very strong. And I was feeling very good about my prediction until CCP Navigator also chose them.
Yeah, kind of went downhill from
It
there.
went immediately downhill.
I will have you know, I was an alliance tournament semi-finalist.
Really?
Yes, I was.
As a player?
Yeah.
With which team?
Am I allowed to say?
Well, you were allowed to say who you played with back then. I mean,
It was Mercenary Coalition.
with MC? MC have never got to the
Forces
We
semifinals.
did. We played
PvP.
SCN.
Really?
In the semi-finals. Yeah.
Which tournament was that?
I think it was 5 or 6. I can't really remember.
Was
We
that
fielded a
when-
missile boat against their All Galante team, a Navy Megathron, an EOS.
All right. I've actually just
Demos,
been told it was
etc.
tournament 3.
Was it 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think that I started really following it, tournament 4. And we had MC play 2 or 3 times, and they were god awful in all of them. I think they're one of the few teams to have fielded whales.
After I left, what can I say?
They brought a bumping Macarial team, and
Yeah,
their
yeah.
strategy was to try to bump the other team out.
Yeah.
They also bought 3 Marauders in a match at one stage, right? 2
Yeah, I
Golems and a
think so.
Vargrer. And
Yes, that was a really absurd one. That's surprising. By the way, those guys are in Pandemic Legion these days.
Painfully aware.
How does that work? How does all the clash of personalities? I mean, Celine is a very outspoken, and can they coexist with?
Well, so far, actually, surprisingly, they've fitted right in.
Yeah.
Despite all the yelling and cursing and whatnot that goes on on a
Yeah.
typical day, they've really fit in so far.
One of the things that I kind of wanted to ask, but then the last match started, is now that you guys have kicked some of the northern alliances out, you know what? I'm going to get interrupted again because we have the match starting.
Hold on to that thought.
There's absolutely nothing to do about that. I actually would rather see -10 against AAA. So -10, -10.
AAA.
I said AAA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah. Stick to my guns.
All
My boys in
right.
AAA.
All right, Sastra. All right, let's see.
I'm never wrong.